Welcome to this rapid game, Terry Malloy. Yeah, 25:10 is the time control, and yeah, it gets more and more established now. Let me check. It's not in that software yet. Wow, you get the Albins counter Gambit. Okay, what about this person? I don't see how many games he has played in the Dasher software. They really have to update that. So I have no idea if that is an established rating or whatever that is. Okay. Maybe if I do best 25. No, that's also not really working. Amazing. So let's go before. Yeah, that's one of the ways to play against the Albins, and it's the current main line against it. If it has something like a main line, it's a very it's not a very popular opening on a somewhat higher level, so hardly a main line available. What white is mostly doing is giving that pawn back for a good position. The bishop on d4 is very strong. It's not easy for black to get some development going. If I go bishop d3, yeah, maybe he has got queen g5. Double attacking g2 and b5. Maybe. Knight f5, however, is a move that, okay, it's not sure how problematic it is. It is a problem after knight c3, let's say. Yeah? Then I don't really have a decent move. Maybe develop that knight first. That shouldn't be a bad idea. Now knight f5, I can drop it back to c3 or b2. And then later win a tempo with bishop d3. Okay. So interesting move. I don't really like to play a4 here that much. But okay, it weakens b4. Yeah? He might have like knight moves and something to b4. Okay, so bishop c3, that's clear now. Yeah, bishop b2 at some in other cases would have been an alternative, but then bishop b4 is a pretty awkward pin, so I probably have to go to c3 anyway. And then knight to f5, I'm not sure about. It's not a particularly stable piece. The thing is that this pawn structure, a4, b5 against b7, c7, I mean, by design is good for white because I'm limiting his pawn there on the c file. It quite often will turn out to be a weakness. I cannot really tell you if this rating is from many games. The Dasher software is not working properly with the 25 pool yet. So, no, but okay, we see that despite that fishy opening, he played well afterwards. Yeah, the Albins is not a good opening, but it's not something that is like totally destroyed by white. That's not possible. You will get a good position, but you won't win outright. That A3 line that I played, as I said, is the current main line. It's not the sharpest continuation. There are a couple of other lines that are a little bit more after a refutation, but I don't know them. Yeah, I wonder what is he going to do. Something like bishop b4. I might just play queen b2 and win that pawn. Okay, he can keep that with queen e7. It's probably not a good idea anyway. After almost any move, I'm probably... It's an interesting question if I should play bishop to d3 or a move like bishop c4. Yeah, surprisingly long thought from him. He's not disconnected, right? No. It's got a fantastically good connection. So he just takes a longer think here. Yeah, something like bishop e7 is a normal looking move. Yeah, I wonder if he is worried in some way about the move e4, like e4, knight d4, queen b2, but the knight can be supported by rook d8, things like that. So e4 is probably rubbish. That's a bit worrisome, that long think. Even though I didn't get a disconnection information when I pinged him, it's kind of weird. I think, well, I guess bishop e7. If he goes rook d8 or something, I can take a5. I mean, I really will take that pawn. Or maybe is he worried about knight c4? That's an interesting question, actually. Something that I should have thought of before. Yeah, knight c4. It took me a long while. That is a problem. Let's say he goes bishop e7. I play knight c4. Attacking a5. He absolutely cannot go b6 due to knight e5. So he really let this pawn... Yeah, he gives me that pawn. In simple English. Okay. I don't really think I can decline that. Yeah, it was. I didn't spend much time on that move, but I had thought about it beforehand. Okay, just back. He gained a little bit of time, but it still has not changed the fact that a possible knight c4 to e5 will basically wipe him out, getting the knight to c6. I just wonder, is that right, or I wonder if that is the right way to do it. Or just something like bishop e2 and develop. It's not apparent what his compensation is for the pawn. Yeah, come on, let's just complete development, not move pieces again and again like knight c4. So is there something wrong with castling? Nope. Yeah, I really don't think he's got anywhere near sufficient compensation. I still have knight c4, e5 to c6, but I think it was better to get my king out of there first. Yeah, can he, how does he get some kind of counterplay? Yeah. Yeah, moving pieces towards my king, but it's not so easy. Yeah, like let's say bishop d6 or something. I have knight c4. Directly going after that bishop. Something like knight to h4. I can just go g3 if everything else fails. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay, he tries that one. Knight f3 is also a move that comes to mind. And you might have bishop f. My bishop f5. I got queen b2. Huh? That's good. Oh wait, knight f3. Let's just. I mean, I have time. Yeah, I'm playing a bit too quickly here, really. I can take a little bit of time there. Knight to d4. But that's very tempting. If he takes it, bishop takes. I have bishop c6 as a possible idea. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Trading it is one idea, but the other thing is like knight d4. Yeah, that would be nice to get in. Knight d4, possibly to set more than once to c6. And let's undo that pre-move. It always screws up the board view. I can take it bishop c4, but rook d1. It's really not leading anywhere. And knight e5 is still in the game. It's really still in the mix. Shouldn't forget about that. If he, I don't know, I'm not quite sure what his move is, but knight e5 shouldn't be forgotten. It's pretty strong in some cases still, with the knight coming to c6. Okay, that move I did not think of at all. Okay. If I take it, bishop h3, king h1. That doesn't strike me as particularly great for black, but I wonder about knight e5. Let's start like that. Yeah, knight e5. What is he doing after that? If he goes like to d6 or so, I take g2 and I'm just a piece up for nothing. And if he goes to c8, I can go knight c6. I mean, I can also just take g2. It's almost the same thing, but knight c6 still looks pretty good. Still, I wonder if I wonder if I take on g2, he's checking me on h3, king h1. Okay, alright, bishop g4 is nonsense. If I go to c6 now, let's think about it for a moment. Rook d7, I can actually... Okay. Rook d7 looks crazy. He will go rook e8, probably. I wonder if it is a good thing to have that knight on c6 or not. It sometimes can be misplaced, to be perfectly honest. Nah, but it's probably right. Let's do it. One thing is that if he moves his rook somewhere, I can take e7. Oh, he doesn't. Really? Wow. So why can I not take on d8? That is interesting. I don't get it. What is he doing then? Like bishop d5 or some crazy move for queen h3. Yeah, that would be out of this world if something like that would actually work. I can still take there. On g2. Queen e4 is also a pretty decent move. Just trying to take that piece. It cannot go anywhere. Can only play bishop h3, and then still the knight is trapped. That is a candidate, yeah. Queen e4 for like conveniently taking that piece. Queen e4, bishop h3. I can just grab d8, I guess. queen e4, bishop d5 is a possible move. But then I play queen d4, mating on g7, f6, then d5 falls with check. So queen e4, bishop d5, queen d4 does win, I think. So what is left? Okay, but still, there's knight d8. But I couldn't really. A bishop d5 looks totally crazy after that. For queen h3. Well, that is exactly the kind of nonsense that I sometimes lose against. Okay, I think queen e4 is a simple way to do it. His bishop is trapped. And I still retain that option to take the exchange on d8. Let's say he goes bishop h3 now to protect that knight. I can take on d8, knight d8, rook d8, bishop f3, and the knight has nowhere to go. So is that a moment now to take, or is there something different? Let's just try to calculate that properly. Bishop d3 is also a move. I'm not sure if it wins though. Even the weird move f5 is probably possible. So knight d8, that's the first move really to check. Knight d8. He cannot really. He moves his knight somewhere. He doesn't really have a check or anything. I think I can take it. Let's take that exchange first. I don't see anything great now for him. I think rook takes is the simple reply. And then I was planning to play bishop f3. Just intending to take the knight. It cannot go to h4. I mean, it can, but I take that. And at the end, like bishop f3, knight h4, queen takes h4, bishop f1, rook f1. I'm a piece up. Okay, so he went with this capture. This way he retained the possibility to cover. I mean, h4 is now covered. Is what I'm trying to say. So if I go bishop g4, that's maybe queen to h4. That's something that could easily lead to trouble. What about bishop g4? Bishop g4, queen h4, bishop f3. Bishop g4, queen h4, bishop f3. Bishop h2, king h2, that's not leading anywhere. Bishop g4 check. Still possible, maybe. Huh. Okay. I also thought about queen to f3, just attacking that bishop. But then queen h4. And it holds. Okay, I can also go queen d4. Queen d4, there's queen g5. It's not that easy actually. Knight to h4. It's still kind of messy a little bit. So let's think about it. Queen to g5. That's annoying, really. It's amazing that bishop g4, queen h4. It's kind of okay, probably. Bishop f3, bishop takes h2, king h2, bishop g4, check. But then king g1, that's the end of it, actually. So think about it again. Bishop g4. Otherwise, it would basically bishop g4. Oh no, okay. Rook something as queen d4. That will win. It's still a tricky position, amazingly enough. Bishop g4, queen h4, bishop f3. There's really no bishop g4 maybe? Bishop g4. Now then I take with the queen there. Wow, it's kind of complicated. Bishop g4. No, it's not. So I'm calculating complete nonsense here. Bishop g4, queen h4, bishop f3, bishop g4. Ugh. Kind of irritating. Yeah, it's playable. It's really playable. Wow. It's not that easy, but it's really not that easy. Okay, so what am I playing? King h1 for rook g1 maybe? It's a typical way sometimes to screw it up. Yeah, you calculate some deeper lines, don't get anywhere, and then you play the first move that comes into your mind, and that's total rubbish. Okay, but I don't see a problem with it at the moment. Main idea, rook g1, of course. If I really get rook g1 in, then he wouldn't be able to move his knight due to destruction on g7. Maybe bishop d3 would have been good. Maybe that one was the solution. I was silly. I should have thought about that. Bishop d3, yeah, of course. That would have been interesting. If he in that case, like g6, I have queen d4 mating, or he has to go f6 something, and f6 would stop his queen from this, block him from that queen to h4 kind of idea. So maybe bishop d3 would have been good. Yeah, then that was very sloppy. Looking at candidate moves in a very sloppy way. probably, yeah. I'm guilty. Guilty as charged, not doing candidate moves properly. Okay. So rook g1, that was the point. He's threatening bishop g2 anyway, so I probably have to do it. There's nothing happening, huh? Yep, the knight comes back. Okay. What is my move now? I wonder if queen d4 is still an idea. Knight e5 should fail due to f4. And f6 is not a very attractive move. No, it's not a very attractive move, but it also not helps. Bishop c4 check, king h8, rook takes g6. He takes it, queen h4 checkmate. Ha! I've seen a tactic. But anyway, queen d4. Is there something what he can do? He has the check on a8. That's something not to be ignored. That's actually quite important. f3, he has bishop e5 after that. And I'm not winning immediately. It's not bad, but it's not ideal. Okay. Still very tempting to do, I have to admit. Okay, queen d4, f6, bishop c4 check. That really wins, but he has that check on a8, huh? Yeah, that's not good. Still a quite nice idea. So let's think about it. What am I actually playing after having thought about this nice but probably irrelevant possibility for quite a while? So I still like it. Come on, let's play for a little trick here. I know I shouldn't do that, but still I feel tempted. I will probably give that check. But it's not a problem. I mean, f3 I'm okay. Bishop e5, queen c4 or something, I'm okay then. He's got bishop e6. Not a good idea. Playing for tricks is not a good idea. Not a good idea. Yeah, after that check, f3, bishop e5. I don't have a good square for the queen on top of everything. Okay, my queen d2 or so. It's not like great. It doesn't change the fact that I'm an exchange up, so nothing bad happened, but yeah, he's probably seeing it, that f6 loses very swiftly. Or maybe, no, it does lose very swiftly. I was just thinking f6, bishop c4 check, king h8, rook takes g6, and then the check on a8, but I have bishop d5. That ends the whole affair very quickly.
Check.
Yeah, so f3. Is there any other alternative? queen d2. Let's do that. Rook d8, queen b2, and then he has to trade. Yeah, playing for that little trick probably was a silly idea. Yeah, humans are weak. Cannot resist temptation. Temptation for cheap tricks. Okay, he's going back just like that. Yeah. Is there a particular idea? Knight e5 maybe. Maybe. Queen d4, bishop e5 is just a repetition. That's useless. I don't really see any kind of threat from him, so I'm going to do this, trying to use my rook on a1. I expect him to take, and then I can take with the rook. That makes my rook active. At least far more active than it was on a1, hint behind that pawn. Yeah, queen b7, I guess. Seems quite likely. I don't know. Is he planning? No. If he goes to d8, I have b6. Takes rook d5, wins the bishop. It's a little tactic. Probably not bad. I expect queen b7. That also would prevent any b6 ideas, just by queen takes b6. Yeah, I still have to be cautious. It can easily happen that you overlook some detail here. I wonder, queen d. If I go queen d4 again, bishop e5. Is there an alternative move? Doesn't look like it. Flashy move would be like b6. Huh? He takes. No, it's not working. He can take with the queen. If everything else fails, he can take with the queen. So, how to continue here? We can also think about what black's ideas are. He cannot do that much. I wonder if bishop d4 for rook a7 is a move. It's probably not bad. But also not helping much, to be honest. Doesn't help much. I like rook a4, preventing. I mean, it doesn't really prevent. Knight h4 wasn't threatened anyway. That's what I'm trying to say. But it is useful on the 4th rank, I believe. Yeah, I think black has a little bit more play than certainly was necessary. King h1 was probably not the best move. Yeah, and my playing on a trick probably not very advisable. I mean, I don't really see anything dramatic happening to me, but still it felt like there should have been better solutions. I wonder if rook h4 is somewhat of a threat here. If he takes it, rook g7 will definitely win. But rook h4, the bishop it retreats. Yeah, maybe like rook h4, bishop back, rook h5, this kind of thing. That just makes some sense. Activate the rook on to h5. Yeah, maybe. Okay, it's his move, and it's pretty important that it is black's move. He will very likely move the rook somewhere and introduce ideas like, let's say, rook d8 for possible discoveries, even though the rook hangs. So okay, he retreated that bishop voluntarily. So what is the point of it? Not sure. Yeah, I wonder, do I play rook h4, or is that just a move to... That just a show-off move that doesn't really lead anywhere? That's often a problem. You see a flashy looking move and then you feel tempted, but it's not that great actually. Yeah, I don't know, but it looks good here, right? Yeah, I don't see an argument against it at the moment. The idea is really rook h5, where it would have a good position on the 5th rank, secures my pawn there on h2, and both rooks are doing something. The weird thing is that rook h4 in itself doesn't carry a threat, and it puts it on a protected square, but he cannot take. Rook g7 check, king h8, rook takes f7 check, king g8, rook g7 check, king h8, rook takes c7 check, and I'm winning the queen at the end. I don't see why this move here wouldn't work. Rook h5 is coming. A little detail is always that knight e5 is not threatening anything, like knight takes f3 as still g7 hangs. I'm not sure what his move is. Rook h5 looks pretty good. This one, okay. Queen d4, there is the rook coming back. So I go rook h5 here, right? Rook d8, is that an issue? Okay, let's do this first. Just hope that my rook is not taking up an offside post, but I don't believe it. Yeah, it's fortunately no way really to ignore that. Yeah, with queen b2, that looks normal. Attacking g7. It's really not clear what he does to attend to both rook f5 and bishop g7. Oh, no, I don't see a move. I don't see one. Yep, just dropping back. Is there something better than bishop takes g7? Hard to believe. Is there any tactic or anything why that wouldn't work? I don't see it. Let's take that pawn. And let's check what I'm actually threatening. Maybe even bishop h8 for queen g7 mate. Yeah, maybe bishop h8, bishop f8, then bishop f6 back also. It looks like some mating attack is just around the corner. Okay, so he's attacking f3. I have a couple of options. If I take it, queen takes. Okay, that's not, maybe not entirely convincing. At least I don't see a checkmate happening. I have rook g3 to protect it. And good, e4 is probably not a good idea. Yeah, that looks wrong. Is there something else that I can try to do? Some active move with threats? Doesn't look like it. Rook g3 is a possibility. Just covering, I mean, very simple. Probably also sufficient. That's the lazy man's answer, probably. But if it works, it works. Can he play something like a bishop f3? I thought wouldn't work. Yeah, it wouldn't work. I can even take with a rook. What is, do I have a very substantial threat? Bishop h8. He still has bishop f8 to continue. One additional point of rook g3 is, of course, that sometimes rook can go to h3 and just crashing through on his king position. Yeah, it's a really long game. We're really taking, or we're using that time control to the fullest. It's possible that I can just go rook h3 and take Okay, that's a slower move. Bishop h8. He's going bishop f8. And then bishop f6, I guess. Or if I go bishop to h6, he has f6 as an additional idea. What is bishop e6 actually doing? Is it threatening anything? I don't see it. I don't really see a problem. So I'm going for that, for queen g7 mate. And bishop f8, I go bishop f6. After which his rook hangs, and I'm ready to continue from there. Or is there anything better? Let's think about it briefly. Bishop f6 looks good though. That's a super square on f6, and I'm winning a tempo on that rook. The bishop on e6 was just covering h3. That is the point. Anyway, he moves the rook, and then what? How am I checkmating him? Am I checkmating him? In the first place, I definitely need the queen for that. Cannot do it with rooks alone. Even though rook takes g6 is something to keep in mind. Oh, interesting. Not minding that rook trade. Okay. Of course, I can take it. Just I'm not entirely convinced. I don't really want to activate his queen there to d5. I don't like it. Don't like that idea. That his queen would become more active. Yeah, maybe not much that I can do about it, really. Okay, let's take it. I guess he will take with the queen, activating it a little bit. But from there, what do I do? Queen d4. He's got queen a2. Still causing some trouble. How do I win this? I don't see it yet. Ace queen can sometimes invade. If I go like queen e5 or so, we play queen d2, and this is really not what I like to see. With that rook trade, somehow my king has gotten a little bit more vulnerable. Do I go rook g5 or something? I'm a bit unsure. I don't like this development very much. But okay, it still should be very good for white, but it looks a little bit more tricky. Yeah. Maybe I can really just push h4, h5. Okay, queen retreats. That's good news in any case. Is h4, h5 good? Well, that looks good actually. Why not? Let's do that. I was more afraid of him keeping the queen on the d file. Yeah, maybe I'm worrying a bit too much and everything is just totally winning. It's possible. Really is possible. So what is it that he has left? Bishop d5. Bishop d5. Maybe just rook g3 back. Okay, this one. Yeah, taking e3 is not a big deal, as I threaten h5 here anyway. I just wonder if I have to move the rook in the first place. Something like h5, bishop g5, bishop takes g5 is probably just winning. It's got queen d5. Now let's not be fancy. Simple stuff is better. So rook g2, bishop takes e3, h5. Yeah, that's the line. Or to g3, is that maybe better? Just to g3. Covers f3, covers h3. Yeah, that looks better even. I still have h5, of course, that threat. Yeah, that's precise, I believe. Probably not important, but now even bishop d5 is not threatening a check or anything. I mean, a meeting for a check. And h5 is hitting next move. Maybe king f8, h5, move the knight, but that's going to be pretty sad if you have to do that. Okay, that's protecting. Sorry, protecting h5. So what am I doing here? I can go queen d4, just quite played with simple means. Still wonder queen d4, queen a2 or something. I don't have a mate, funny enough. Sorry. Queen d4, queen a2. Check bishop f8. Huh? It's no mate. Bishop e7 though. Very good. He has a check. Bishop e7 threatens mate. Direct mate. Okay, queen d4, queen a2, queen d8 check. Bishop f8, bishop e7. He's got one check, just one check, and queen e2, queen f8 mate. Okay. Queen a2, check on d8, bishop f8, bishop e7. Funny pinning situation. And he has one check, and queen e2 is made on f8, so it's not working. I have to be a bit circumspect with the clock here. Okay, he allows the queen trade. I can also check here on b4.
Time warning.
That might be good. But okay, let's do that endgame. Let's do the endgame. An exchange and a pawn, so the good thing about this kind of endgame is that, well, the 10-second increment is really really helpful here. So e4, limiting knight and bishop. Yeah, just one or two good technical moves will make sure that it's a relatively easy business. If he plays bishop f4, I go rook g4, double attacking. And here I have bishop g5, I believe. If he trades it, it will be very simple after the bishop trade. Rook comes to c5, and that's just very simple technique. His knight is also totally dominated by the pawns. And bishop g7, I take on e7, winning a piece. So he has to trade now. Yeah, he really can only trade. No other move. And over here to grab the c-pawn. Yeah, probably don't even need the king for that.
Black resigns.
Yeah, that was an interesting game. The first real game in that 25-10 pool. So let's have a recap. To be honest, that game took so long and it's really late, so I'm not going to do a super deep analysis here, but I still want to check some ideas. So this happened. I think I keep making a mistake here. E3 is also is the move here. I think this is a bit more precise actually. Anyway, we get to the same thing probably. Queen here, knight back, and knight d2. All normal moves. Knight d2, yeah, that looks cool. Queen d7. Yeah, I went a4 just to make sure that this is not taken. Probably not bad. He went here, back c3. Yeah, and this was this mysterious moment where he took more than 5 minutes and then went rook d8. That is really mysterious a bit, because he doesn't have any compensation for the pawn, and it's not clear that he had to do it. I mean, what is wrong with this, for example. Is knight c4 really such a problem? Okay, the engine is giving that move. That's a very, very interesting move. Intending this here. That's strong. Yeah, that's entirely pointless. That's interesting. Rook d1. That's not. I didn't see that move. Maybe if he played bishop e7. I mean, I'm thinking a bit. Then I was thinking that this might be just good. Attacking here. It's a very, very weird engine line. If someone plays against you and he plays this thing like in a very quick time control game with that idea, you know that something's wrong. Interesting. I'm not sure if I would have played here. Rook d1 is strong though. Okay, he went here, and well, I can really just take it. b6 and back. 7, bishop e2, castles. Here. Yeah, okay, we certainly have more than one move here to look at. g3 is of course also possible. Maybe better. I mean, I didn't really think about knight g2 that much. It felt yeah, like it shouldn't work. This, and now the engine just says it wins. Yeah, check. I mean, maybe this was the simple way to do it. That's possible with rook g1 coming, and I still have this attack. That's maybe easier, but okay, I liked this idea. And he went bishop d6 and queen e4. Okay, well, it is +3 according to the comp, and best move now, so that wasn't bad. I spent long enough time on it, and now he went here. I played knight d8. Yeah, that was just a pragmatic move. Just grab it. The computer finds this, which is stronger. Yeah, one reason I didn't really look at that, because check. That looked scary, but it's not really check. Because I have this. This is strong. That's a strong move. f6. Huh? It's hard to find a different move. Then I can take like here, and then check. I have this regrouping, which looks pretty good. Yeah, that was a good alternative, but it's not really much weaker, I think, than what I did. Here, king h1. I wasn't happy with that move in retrospect. I took a long time there, and I failed to see this move. I mean, I had the idea briefly, but didn't follow up on it. The idea is that after g6, I'm just winning, yeah, because he has to play f6. And this sucks. The queen, oh, that's a wrong arrow. The queen is not helping. Knight doesn't have an escape square that will win easily. So he has to do something other than g6, and this would be queen to h4. And yeah, I don't know. Can I take even, or is that? Nah, that's still a bit tricky, this thing. Here, nah, probably. Check. There's nothing really happening, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe that wasn't so bad. Knight back, rook g1, went back here. I mean, I'm an exchange up, and I control the whole board basically. This wasn't a great idea, I guess. It probably doesn't hurt, but. Check. It was really hoping for this, which is check. Which is cute if it happens, but yeah, it's not checkmate. Forced. Check. As he has to check, f3, bishop here, queen back again, and a5. Yeah, probably that was good, activating the rook. And now I overlooked a tactic. Okay. Rook g6 was winning immediately. I thought about it, but I couldn't really find something here in my thoughts. Yeah, this is a self-made, so not working. But rook a7 this win. Yeah, because if the queen goes back, then bishop c4. Okay, so this would have been much stronger then. If he does that, f6, I can check here. Yeah, of course. And now again, he cannot go here due to
checkmate.
Mate. Okay, that would have been cute. Rook g6. No, I thought about it, but I didn't really get all the points. And I like this idea of bringing the rook over. It's not the best move according to the engine, but yeah, it's not bad. I think it keeps the material. It is aggressive in some way. It's always like +2. Yeah, the engine doesn't approve that. Wants to go to d3 and still gives me 2 pawns of an advantage. Yeah, here I can really just take it. Rook here is the simple move. And bishop h6, okay, is a bit stronger, but I don't think that this is a mistake. No, it isn't. Takes. Engine gives e4. Yeah, maybe, but nothing wrong with that move, I think. Yeah, I was thinking that maybe staying on the d file was a bit stronger, but ultimately I can improve slowly, like this, for example. Then rook g1 back, h4, step by step. Okay, went here, h4, back. That just went back. I think that this was interesting, but I was a bit irritated by this. I cannot move the bishop as this hangs, but queen f6 will win. So then h5 was good, but okay, it's not bad to retreat the rook. h5 was a threat. This, oops. Yeah, and queen d4 is the pragmatic choice. The line that had to be calculated was not this, but queen a2, after which check, bishop f8, bishop e7 will win for queen takes f8 mate. No, he only has one pretty pointless check. Okay, king back on, and now I just went for the trade. Now, yeah, that's technically speaking the easiest. Bishop g7 will blunder a piece. So we took. Yeah, and now I get the c7 pawn. So it seems that I overlooked one or two things that could have won a bit quicker, but it seems that I always kept a good control over the game. Okay, guys, thanks for watching this.